All right, so here's a look at the PC18 from Handheld. Now this one is gonna be the largest head. So if you're looking for something that's gonna cover tons of surface area, then this is probably gonna be your best bet. Now, for the charging on this is gonna be about 2 hours of charging for a full charge from completely dead. And that's gonna give you about 70 minutes of runtime, which I estimate to be about, I don't know, 5 to 6 total uses, kind of depending on the size of your pool. Now we've got a medium sized pool here, and like I said, I probably get 5 to 6 total uses out of this. The motor on this is actually relatively strong, so when you're going over everything, because of the fact that this is a larger head and the power of this motor, you really only have to go over everything like one time and then maybe do a couple little spot pickups here and there. Another thing you're going to notice here with this head is that it's got these brush attachments right here. Now these are going to slide over here on the side. You've got one that points down and then one that points flat. These are perfect for the corners of your pool, so if you've got any right angles, this is really going to get deep in there. And it also comes with a replacement attachment as well, so if you wanted to switch these out if they get messed up over time, you've got a replacement right there, which is perfect. Now for the machine itself, it is very lightweight. You can see I could hold this easily with one hand and move it around. When I open this up, all you got to do is take this attachment piece right here, pop this down like that, and then this whole thing is going to come off. On the inside, you've got your filter. This filter is going to be for larger debris, so things like leaves, dirt, twigs, anything large like that. It will go ahead and push the fine particles through. So if you want to get those fine particles, you know, if you've got sand or if you've got, you know, thin pieces of dirt at the bottom, I would recommend using the other filter that comes with it. And these filters right here are both washable as well. I just throw a little bit of Dawn dish soap on these, spray them off with the hose, empty everything out, and you can go ahead and just reuse these pretty much infinitely. This is what it looks on the inside. It's almost like a sock material, and it really does capture and catch everything, even those really tiny particles. It will also capture a little bit of algae. Now, if you're going to be working on getting algae out of your pool, you're going to want something like an ionizer, which Handheld also has as well. So usually I recommend getting a pool vacuum like this and also getting an ionizer with it, because that copper is just going to eliminate that bacteria and algae in the pool that just literally cannot be picked up by any type of filter. Now let me show you how this goes back on. You're just going to put this filter piece in here like this. Actually, let's go ahead and switch this out, because I want to pick up all the dirt and all the little particles on here so that I can kind of show you what it looks like. And we are going to get this in the pool here shortly. I'll put a little mark on this screen so you can see what time that is if you want to get straight to the demo. But the way that this goes on is just these little rubber pieces. You want to make sure this is all lined up, and then you just snap that rubber piece in like that, then push this filter in. Then I always make sure that this is standing upright. It just makes it easier to do. You're going to push this down, align the circles, and then you're going to pull this up, snap it on, and you're good to go. You've got your filter attached. Next, we're going to attach our head attachment right here. Same thing, you want this to be flat on the ground. You're gonna just pop it in like this, and now you are connected, ready to use it. The only other piece you gotta work on here is the attachment up at the top. So you've got this attachment right here, which will go right over it. And this is gonna allow for a shorter attachment. So if you're using this in a jacuzzi, a small pool, like a kid's pool, or if you're gonna be working on the walls inside of the pool, I like using this attachment right here. Now we also have the other attachment. This is gonna be your extension pull attachment, and this is going to be up to 7'3", so extremely tall. All you got to do is undo this. This is going to allow you to extend the pull up. Then you can tighten this piece on. And let me stand up here so you can get a reference of how tall this actually can go. Same thing here. We're going to undo this, pull this pull up all the way, tighten it, and you can see this is 7'3" right here. So this is going to work in a majority of pools. But if you've got a pool that is extra deep, or you know, you have a ledge like we have over there that's very tall, what you can do is you can attach any universal pool pole to this. They made this a universal attachment, so you could easily just grab, like we've got a really long pole over there for our skimmer. You can go ahead and just put this on here as well if you need to get deeper down. All right, let's go ahead and get it now over into the pool. Now when you're using this in the pool, you want to make sure that you actually submerge it in. You're gonna see that this has little gills over here on the side. So there's these little gills that sit on the side. You wanna submerge it all the way in and let it bubble up. This is gonna make sure that water gets in here and it doesn't burn up the motor. So you do wanna do that every time. Then you can go ahead and pull it up a little bit, click it on, and now it's gonna start working. So let's work on this section over here. I'm gonna let the water settle just a little bit so you can see it better. And let's push this down here. Now, when you're pushing this, I recommend always to do this very slowly so that you're not kicking up the dirt. Because if you do that, it's all just gonna kick up and then settle back down. So you wanna push it across very slowly. So let's work on this section right here. One thing you'll also notice is as I get close to the dirt, that suction is gonna pull it in. So you'll see everything start to go even before I get over the dirt. Watch, I'll hold it right here and look at all that dirt getting suctioned up. It's gravitating the pull towards that. So that's why I say you wanna go slow. That way it goes ahead and pulls it in instead of having to brush across it. So let's go across this now. There we go. And I'm gonna go ahead and show you real quick before I pull it back. Look at that, a perfect line right across. We got like 95% of the stuff picked up. Then if we pull it across one more time this way, boom, just like that. Now let's pull it out. Let's see what we got. It is great because you really are able to get so much out. And I mean, look, this is literally from one pass, literally one small tiny pass about a foot by a foot. So imagine going across the whole pool with this. You really only need to go maybe one time across, and again doing a little bit of detail here and there. All right, now we got it in the jacuzzi just because you can see a little bit better here, but look at the brush. You can see that that brush really pushes up here against the edge and the corners, making it nice and easy to kind of clean that dirt that gets stuck in those corners. Now we've got a bit more of like a rounded section pool, but this does work great if you've got more of a right angle. But I do like using this up against the edge, even if I'm just gonna press it up like this, because sometimes that dirt really does get stuck up against those corners. Another thing I want to mention here is the shape of this. So you can see that it's got a flat end at the front, it's got it angled at the side, another angled here. And I really do like this design because you are able to get right up against the wall. So if I push this here, let me go ahead and let it settle. You can see I could really push this all the way up against the wall there, and even though those brush bristles are sticking out, it's not a big deal because they do bend. So if I wanted to get all the way up against this wall, I can. And then if I want to go up against it like this, I can also kind of go at the corner, making it nice and easy to swipe all the way across the pool. Now the motor on this, like I said, is relatively strong. This is going to be at 18.5 GPM. So again, this is great for medium to large size pools. And of course it can handle a small pool as well. You can use it here in an in-ground pool like this, or you could use it in an above ground pool. We had one before this, and I had another version of this that was the same GPM from InHulk as well. And I was able to use that in my above ground pool. I love using this because of the larger head. This makes it nice to where I don't have to be outside and be vacuuming for super long. It really only takes me like 5 to 10 minutes for me to cover the whole pool, even if I've got tons of stuff that came down from our trees. So if you're looking for a very simple and easy to use pool vacuum, something that's going to be cordless and that can actually just come out of the box and use pretty much right away, that has a very strong suction power, then this is going to be one of the better options on Amazon. I've tried multiple pool vacuums, including other ones by InHulk, and I think this might be their best one yet. Again, with the charging, you've got 2 hours to a full charge from completely dead, and that's going to give you 70 minutes of runtime. You've got the extra large 13.5 wide attachment up here on the front. It's going to cover more area. Combined with the 18.5 GPM motor on this thing really makes this special, and honestly one of the best pool vacuums that I've seen or reviewed on Amazon. You've got your regular attachment right here, and then you've got your pole extension if you need it to go longer. Plus it's got that universal mount, so if you did want to use an even longer pole, you can easily just attach that on here. So if you're looking for a really good handheld cordless pool vacuum, then I would definitely consider this one.